Thank you for joining my lecture. Today, I talk about why did Japan attack Pearl Harbor. In World War I, Japan's and the United States economies were unprecedentedly prosperous due to special procurement demand for the war. New York City in 1910s. To possess a car generalized in the United States since 1910s. Tokyo in 1910s. About 100 years ago, Subway opened in Tokyo in Asia for the first time. The inside of the department store at the time. Western foods were prevailing in Japan since that time. They were called modern girls at the time of the feast before World War II. Though production increased by the boom, at the time of the recession, unemployment increased because of no production adjustment, no financial policy, and no warranty for workers in the capitalism at the time. Stock prices plummeted suddenly in Wall Street of New York City in 1929. This recession was prevailing all over the world. Unemployment increased in the United States. The United States New Deal policy. The government of the United States gave jobs to unemployed people by public works, including the dam construction. The United Kingdom and France that have a lot of colonies excluded other countries in trade. They strengthened the relationship with the colonies, bloc economy. The Soviet Union, the implementation of 5-year plan. Germany. Prices increased, the value for money was just like a piece of paper. Such a very severe situation, Hitler raised his head using people's dissatisfaction. Japan. People stood in the line to withdraw deposit. Some banks were bankrupt. Starvation in village of northeastern part in Japan. Children's sale. Invasion in China by Japanese army to break through recession. Society as a whole went forward to the war in Japan. Germany invaded in Poland on September 1st, 1939. The UK and France declared war on Germany 2 days later. It's start of World War II. Japan allied with Germany that didn't have a colony, and Italy had a few colonies in 1940. Japan tried to expand territory in China and got to oppose with the United States. The United States banned to export the oil to Japan. Japan attacked Pearl Harbor that has a base of U.S. Navy Pacific Fleet in Hawaii on December 8, 1941 of Japan time, 7th of local time. The Pacific War broke out. Japan was dominant at the beginning of the war. The iron production of the U.S. was about 8 times of Japan. Electric generating of the U.S. capacity was 5 times of Japan. Car ownership of U.S. was 216 times of Japan. After Japan was defeated in Sea Battle of Midway in July 1942, Japan was never dominant in the war. Saipan Island occupied by America in July 1944. American bomber B-29 could bomb mainland Japan directly. Bombing in Tokyo in March 1945. American troops landed in mainland Okinawa in March 1945. A lot of ordinary citizens were victims. Kamikaze. Kamikaze means the wind by the god. In the 13th century, Mongolia invaded Japan. Typhoon damaged Mongolian troops. After that, Japanese called the typhoon kamikaze. Drinking a cup of sake before kamikaze flew away with fuel of one way. The will of kamikaze pilots. It's true, a pilot of kamikaze was only a part of machine, my friend said. A machine that grasps a control stick without a character, a feeling, a reason. Only an iron molecule of magnet that was absorbed in enemy's aircraft carrier. We can't think with a reason. I can't help saying we are suicides. We can see such a thing in only Japan. That is the spirit of the country. Though I don't have the right to say something as a part of the machine, I only ask a favor of Japanese to make Japan great. Probably I might not see you. I don't want to leave nothing behind. That's why. I don't want to make you sad a few decades later. When I fly away, I fly overhead my town. It's my saying goodbye. Members of Kamikaze were 20 years old before and after. Kamikaze that plunged into American aircraft carriers. Atomic bomb that dropped in Hiroshima. Little boy. August 6, 1945 in Hiroshima. Atomic bomb dropped in Nagasaki. Fatma. August 9, 1945 in Nagasaki. The headquarters of the United Nations in New York City. To prevent the world from breaking out war, the United Nations established a lot of organizations to promote free trade. G20 summit to promote free trade. Many countries depend each other in the making of a plane. not to repeat miserable history. The important thing we have to cherish is to understand each other and to cooperate each other. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel to maintain these educational activities. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Thank you for joining my lecture. Today, I talk about why did Japan attack Pearl Harbor. In World War I, Japan and the United States economy